Welcome back to the halftime show on the PAC Sports Network as we are at the half Allegheny hosting Westminster in tonight's PAC opener. And we're joined now at the half with Allegheny head coach Kelly Muffley. Coach, first off, on behalf of the PAC Sports Network, welcome to the PAC.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to be back.
And now fans that follow the conference should remember you, a former 1,000-point scorer at Thiel College, an assistant coach for a little while under Rob Clune as well at Thiel. What's it like for you to return to the conference you played in, and how does that benefit you as well and your team in terms of knowing what to expect from opponents in the PAC?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it's exciting for a lot of reasons because I actually was recruited by a lot of the coaches in the PAC, and I'm still kind of close with a lot of them. So it's nice to have some knowledge of the coaches in the PAC, whereas with the NCAC, I really didn't have that. Joining the league that I played in is also exciting because there's, some records to be broken and teams that we've played before and I had my own personal rivalries with that now I can help translate to my team, whereas I'd never played the DePaws of the world and that kind of thing. So it's cool that like St. Vincent's right in my backyard and I almost went there, like that kind of thing is really nice to be joining this league again. It's a huge positive in general for all of our sports, I think, because the travel is so much more efficient. We're not making long trips anymore. It's just straight up and down 79. I think it creates more rivalries, a better fan base. It helps us recruiting Pittsburgh a little bit more. So there's a lot of positives beyond just the basketball side, but I'm super excited to be back in the conference that I know, that I've played against, that I've coached against, and have a little bit of a knowledge going into the season on who does what players look like, and that kind of thing.
And PAC fans may not realize you're just in year 2 here at Allegheny. So, coming off your first season, what's the comfort factor for you now heading into, or really beginning year 2 now, whether it be recruiting or preparation for the season?
Yeah. So last year, it's always first year is always hard for any coach. You're getting to know the players. You probably didn't recruit any of them. They're used to something different. This year, I have a group that, at least half of our team knows me. We've already got relationships. We are running a lot of the same stuff we did last year. So it's not all brand new to them. I've just got some stuff to teach, newcomers, obviously, but a lot of it is familiar. And so my job isn't quite as challenging this year. I feel like we've got a lot of buy-in. Our first year class and the transfer that we got are all really going to help us this year. And so it's exciting to be in a year where you know a little bit more of what to expect. Last year, year 1, it's kind of a gamble. You don't know exactly what to expect out of the players. They don't know what to expect out of me. Year 1 is hard coaching in general in any sport. And I had to get better as a coach. So we worked really hard last year to recruit good players, to get better with the returners that we have, that I'm really proud of the progress that they've made in just 1 year with us. So year 2 is really excited and we're very happy to have started.
And we'll take a look at some of those players. And in looking at the team, the Gators are a young squad, but led by a sophomore in Emily Lauer. She was a 1,000-point scorer at District 9 powerhouse Keystone High School, made a splash as a freshman with the Gators, leading in scoring with 14 points per game. Why has Lauer been able to immediately excel at the collegiate level?
That's a great question. She's not huge. She's not super fast. She's not the best shooter. She just does everything super well. She's a really hard guard because you don't know if she's going to shoot, and she's really added to her 3-point game. So that is forcing defenders to come out further. She's added to finishing with her left hand. She makes some of the most unbelievable shots I've ever seen. The only other person that's made similar type shots is my assistant, Jess Warmelker. Like, they just make shots that are really difficult, unblockable, crazy shots that most coaches would be like, what is she doing? But Emily Lauer makes them. And she's a wonderful teammate who is really good in transition, she just plays the system that I run very well. So I think that helped her a lot coming to the college level as well. And one of the hardest workers in the gym. So a lot of things going on for her that have really helped her be successful.
And another sophomore, Bella Weir, she is a transfer from Fredonia State, where she started 25 games last season, so a lot of experience under her belt as well. What's her addition meant to the team?
Yeah, so Bella is such a nice surprise for us. I really respect the fact that she's been able to come in and join a team that she was not a part of last year and just fit really well. I love coaching her because she's really smart. She's intuitive. She understands the game, and I think that she adds a different level of guard defense to us. You know, Jasmine Fisher is a great defender too, but the two of them are so like mentally challenged for defending. They just care about it so much. And so that adds something very unique to our team that I'm not sure that we had last year.
Sophomore Sophia Genario, another young player that you're expecting big things from. Tell us about her.
Sure. So Soph is somebody who didn't play for us at all last year. She knows the game and she was on the sidelines and kind of saw it from our perspective. She was injured and just never got to see a single second last year. And so I think that she brings energy. She's an undersized post, but she's really physical. She's a good shooter. And what's very unique about her, she's a great passer. She can play the 3 or the 4 for us. And so she's a tough guard at both of those positions. She's somebody that you can trust in a tough situation when you need a pass to be made at the right time, at the right place. That's somebody that you can depend on for that. And she's just somebody that is fun to be around. I really enjoy having her on the team, and I'm so thankful that she's playing on the team and not sitting on the sidelines with me this year.
Now, in the season opener against Carnegie Mellon, Allegheny had 2 freshmen in the starting lineup in the form of Sarah Santacola and Jess Bickert. Santacola played along some great Division I talent while she was at Moon High School, and Bickert comes from to Allegheny from Seneca Valley High School, so a big Class 6A school. What kind of upside do you see in those 2 players?
Great upside. I mean, Jess Bickert is somebody that you can build a program around as a point guard. She does pretty much everything that I want her to do, pushing the ball, making entries. You know, when she adds a little bit more of a consistent shot to her game, she is going to be really tough to guard. She already gets to the rim, has really unique floaters that sometimes I'm like, how does she make that? But I'm very okay with those shots that she takes. So she's somebody that could be really good for us in the future and is going to help us this year. And Sarah Santacola, like you said, played alongside such great talent throughout her high school career. And I think was often undershadowed by that. You know, she's so good and so unique because she's almost like a 4 instead of a 5, but she's got great size. And so she can shoot the 3, she can do back to the basket, she can just straight up drive on somebody. But the best part about Sarah Santacola is she might be the best rebounder I've ever recruited or coached. She just goes and gets balls and is relentless, totally fearless, would run through a wall for me. She's a fantastic get for our program.
With so many young players, senior Alexis Caldwell is a returning starter, averaged 10.4 points per game, 8.5 rebounds per game as well last season. In what ways has she stepped into the leadership role?
Totally. So I will tell you that Lex was also a leader for us last year. She was great. She played 40 minutes a game. By the end of the year, she was exhausted, but she did it. She last year had to play a 4 for us. She's about 5'6", 145 maybe on her best day. So she should not necessarily have been a post for us, but she did it and she did it really well. And she will do whatever. This year she can play more of a guard position that I think fits her skill level better, and will give her more opportunities. But she's somebody also that would run through a wall for me too, and holds our team accountable, is a great student. Like, she's just a wonderful person to have on the team because she brings energy. She is fun. She's the person that's dancing before games that gets people going. Lex is going to be somebody that we're going to miss greatly next year when she graduates. But hopefully everybody's learning from her and seeing all the intangibles that she brings along with all the basketball skills, so that next year without her, we can try and replace that. But there's no replacing Alexis Caldwell.
Now, you talked about the post play, about last year's post play in that previous answer. You didn't really have a true post player last season, but that's changed this year. You have a healthy Jenna Lutz, 6'1" freshman, and Kate Leach. You know, how have the Gators evolved this season in terms of the post play, and how do you hope to utilize that height?
For sure. So we have worked a lot in the first 3 weeks of the season here on post entry passes. having a real post run the floor so that we can get touches in transition for them. Our inside out game is going to be a lot better this year because the inside game is more of a threat. All of our posts have back to the basket moves. So people are going to have to help on that. And then kickouts are going to be available. I think it's just a little different than what we ran last year. And so it's going to take some time. Sarah Santacola is somebody that's very used to being out on the perimeter, and she's going to be inside a little bit more. And same with Kate Leach. They set a lot of ball screens and didn't always get the ball in the post, but they're way too skilled and are getting so good at it that we're definitely going to throw the ball into them. And if they get doubled, they can kick it back out. But it's going to be a good year to have a true 1 through 5 at all the positions this year.
Allegheny won 7 titles in the North Coast Athletic Conference, now in year 1 for the program in the PAC, and its return to the PAC, former conference members way back when. But what are your expectations against new teams, new opponents in this brand new conference for the Gators?
It's a good question. So we got picked 9th, which is not amazing, but also like being an underdog is pretty great. I think we're going to prove some people wrong on that preseason poll. And I'm excited to do that. But we're planning to play some, and have already played Carnegie Mellon. We're trying to play some really good competition so that we're prepared for the Westminsters of the world, the Grove Cities of the world, the W&Js of the world, because that's when it's really going to matter. And so jumping into this conference is going to be a little different in terms of the style of play, I think is different than it was in the NCAC. I think that the NCAC had a lot of bigger posts, just size difference is going to be a little different in the PAC, but we are really looking forward to having the challenge of proving that we're not the 9th seed team in this league.
That's Allegheny head coach Kelly Muffley. Coach Muffley, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for your time. And again, welcome back to the PAC.
Thanks. You too.
Now we'll have more coming up in just a moment here on the PAC Sports Network.